Seattle-flavored top section.
With a little bit, of course, Oregon flavor. With, Sam Prakel, and then you got Thomas Ratcliffe. You got Brandon Kidder from Penn State, Chris Caudill, Cal Poly. But really, it's a Purple Rain affair.
And Nathan Green, as we mentioned, going to get himself comfortably in front. And we'll see what these guys can do in terms of getting everyone under that 4-minute barrier.
Well, they're all trying to wonder if they can run faster than a 16-year-old today, I think, Paul.
Sam Ruth of Australia running 3:48 earlier in the day in Boston. That has got the track world chattering just a bit on a weekend where we've got action from coast to coast here in Seattle. The Millrose Games tomorrow. And this final top invitational section to get us ready for the open mile races to follow. And that is just good, solid pace running by Green as he reaches the quarter mile right on target.
Yeah, just another one of those days here at the Dempsey for Nathan Green, who has ran so many laps on this track and knows exactly where every quarter mile mark is. But they're single file now, Paul, and really it's just a matter of who wants to push the pace here. I know obviously we got Green doing those duties, and Prakel's is right there technically our leader, but what can Ruben Reyna do? I mean, he had a great first outing in a Husky kit since transfer over from Arkansas, but I'm curious to see how Josiah Tossinson and Owen Powell respond after their last races. They didn't necessarily have the best performances, but maybe more so of just learning how to race against guys that are older than you.
I think that's Ruben Reyna Jr. in third, just ahead of Ratcliffe of Nike Swoosh Track Club. Got Brandon Kidder, who's known more as an 800-meter specialist, also in this race for the Brooks Beasts. And Green takes them through the half-mile mark. And Prakel right there in second.
Really no change at all in positioning at this point, but maybe perhaps a little bit of separation from our lead pack. There is Thomas Diamond. They're leading that second group back there, but it's just a matter of time now before someone really starts to take full control of this race, and it looks like Nathan might be stepping up here pretty soon.
Yeah, 2 laps to run. I think that might be Kidder that's trying to cover the move and get back into contact with the leaders as they work to the backstretch. This the third quarter mile as they'll come to the final turn, and that will be the 3/4 mile mark. Sam Ellis of the On Running Club back there in the all black. Got some work to do to try to get himself back into position, but these guys are going to try to wind it up. They're all sprint finishers as Green moves wide and gives Prakel the lead as they'll come to the bell.
Just waiting for that opportunity to make that move, and now you start to see the legs turn, Paul. This is where the real racing begins with 307 meters to go, and I like the position that Reyna is in, challenging the veteran like Sam Prakel, who has been in this position so many times throughout his career, and they continue to fly down here, especially on this backstretch, and just the response now by Reyna. He moves just to his outside shoulder. Look at them go right now.
With a half lap to go, the veteran Prakel fights off the charge from the youngster Ruben Reyna, but see what Reyna has left in the tank. And how about Ratcliffe doing all kinds of arm swing there to try to swing himself off the final turn. Heads down, Prakel is there. A little bit of a weave now by Ratcliffe up alongside Reyna, but it's Sam Prakel delivering a victory in this men's mile in 3:51.86 as he's just off that Nathan Green meet record, but he does get the winner's trophy, in this case a fancy new backpack.
He's got a handful of those probably. But does he have a Mile City backpack? Now he does.
Well, as we wait to see how far deep we go with those sub-4s, look back on this final stretch. And a good job of Prakel holding him off.
Yeah, I think it goes back to what I said about just having that experience, the amount of times that Prakel has been in this position, whether it goes back to his days at Oregon and now over the last few years as a professional athlete. I mean, this really played in his favor right here towards the end. Ratcliffe, really good push towards the end, but yeah, I think the veteran really timed it perfectly to get this one.
Well, a fitting way to wrap up the Invitational section. All 13 that finished the race go sub 4, with Josiah Tostenson 3:59.41 finishing last, but you're still under 4 minutes.
7 Huskies under 4 minutes. Time to put together another 4-by-mile team there, Andy. You got another solid squad of milers out there in Seattle, and yeah, that's a good day's work, and a great bounce back from some of those guys, and even a challenge for both Evan Jenkins and Jamar Distel, who are much longer distance guys. Evan Jenkins, of course, won the 10K at Big Ten Outdoors last year at Hayward Field, but yeah, no, that's a solid day's work. And then Tyler Billiard, great 1K he had 2 weeks ago, but overall great performance led by that guy. The